Should I look here or should I look here? Hey, y'all. I know it's been a while, but you know, life is gonna life, but we roll with the punches over here. This is actually really good. This is a really good angle. I didn't even plan this out. Literally, I just hit. Okay, introduction. As you can see, my hair needs just a little work. A little background. I'm a natural girly. I have been on my natural journey since 2020. I haven't had a relaxer in over a decade, but in 2020 during COVID, I really started to focus on like my curls and my coils, trying to revitalize them and I guess like reverse the like heat damage, if you will, from over the years. I spent so much time dedicated to it, but I don't know, I just got this urge, like I just really have been craving like a bust down, like middle part bust down, curtain bangs, like the whole look. So for those who don't know, I am a former kitchen beautician. Even though I wasn't really doing hair in the kitchen, I was actually doing hair in like the bedroom or like the living room. Nonetheless, I was doing hair all throughout college and then all throughout pharmacy school. If you never heard of a Tory sew-in, I feel sorry for you because it was an era, honey. If you know, you know. And so over the years, I kind of like phased out of doing hair because it's demanding and like, obviously I'm working a real job. It just didn't really make sense. The only person I would ever allow to touch my hair is my little sister, who is cold. She's going to be one of the GOATs. I'll actually tag her in this post so you guys can see her work. She's currently doing hair out of Houston, but she's getting ready to relocate to Georgia. But it serves me nothing when I live in Wisconsin, okay? So again, I'm craving this bust down and we are gonna make it happen. So we are taking it back to 2007 through 2014-ish era Tory. So join me as I do my own sewing. Okay, so we have the essentials. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. I come from the era prior to like social media, especially way before social media influence. You know what, take that back. The beauty girls were on YouTube. They was teaching us how to do our makeup. But it just really wasn't as big of a thing. It wasn't the craze that it is now. Cause baby, if it was, let's just say I probably wouldn't be a pharmacist right now, but that's a whole nother story. One, this is a test to make sure I still got it. Because I definitely had it before. This is a test to make sure I still got it. But I don't know how to like execute and like document. So this is a trial run. Bear with me. I am currently sectioning off my leave out. Man, I feel so rusty. But the concept, so like, what I'm looking for in sectioning out my leave out, one, when I used to wear a middle part sew-in, I liked my middle part to be a deep middle part. To me, it just looks so much more natural. It gives old school Kardashian, it gives old school Kim K. A lot of times I see, on like traditional sew-ins, like a middle part and then like stops like right here. I don't like that. I like my middle part to go deep. I like my middle part to go back. And so I started by parting a deep middle part. Obviously I'm not making sure that it's like super straight right now because it really doesn't matter. And then I am sectioning off not that much, if you can tell, the leave out. Obviously I want to make sure that my tracks are covered because we do not need our tracks showing. That's a definite no. But I also don't want to leave too much leave out because the more you leave out, the more you have to maintain. And so when I tell you my hair is like straight where? I'm gonna have to do some training with this leave out, but I don't want to damage it. So less is more in this case. Less is more actually in most cases, and definitely in this case. And not too much on the sides of where the middle part is, but obviously as I mentioned, I want it to be deep, and so we did go back a little further. So again, I'm a little rusty. I haven't done my own sewing and who knows how long. So hopefully this is enough. I am just braiding this section down so it is out of the way. I washed and blow dried my hair last night because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do all of this in one day. I literally used to do this on myself all in one day, all in one sitting. Like, what? Crazy. I was on the fence about leaving edges out. I just don't want to do too much or have too much heat damage. Like when I say I'm not gonna leave too much out at all, like I think I'm just gonna leave just enough for some baby hair. I'm probably gonna sew it all up. look, let me leave this out. We're gonna sew the rest of this up. So next I'm gonna braid two what I call anchor braids. Don't eat me up in the comments if y'all call it something else. My bad. Again, I am old school, okay? So I'm going to braid two anchor braids on the side of my leave out. I see a lot of people, so there's so many different methods to braiding your hair. And I used to have a favorite. My favorite is just too complicated for me to do on myself, which is like, I guess I would call it like the beehive method, where like it's essentially one braid that wraps around your entire head. To me, it was the best. It provided like the best like new growth. It provided the best protection. It provided the like flattest sew-ins. It was just like the bomb diggity. Did I just say bomb diggity? I did say bomb diggity. I guess the only downside to that is like when you have super thick hair, and obviously like my hair isn't thin, then I'm doing it on myself. So I am gonna just do like the braid down method. The only thing that I don't like about like the braid down method is that yes, it's super flat, because essentially like there's no bulking at the top of the braid because it's the start of the braid. What I don't like about that is like over time when the sew-in starts to get old, to me the tracks, like as you're getting the new growth and things like that, the tracks start to like slide down. I always do an anchor braid if I'm gonna braid my hair down that way, because the anchor braid is going parallel to the leave out, which is gonna make it just a little bit more secure as the sew-in gets old. Y'all know what I'm doing? I know what I'm doing. It's like riding a bike. Now braid it down. Trying to get as close as possible to my edge. So you have that support there. Like, these nails don't want me to be great, but wait a minute, we're doing something. I'm tired already, honey, with these tulip braids. I'm gonna leave this out. Lord, please protect my edges in Jesus' name. My hair's just so thin in this area. It always has been, just more fragile out here, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna protect my hair before all else. Like, I like a cute hairstyle, but like we care about the health of our hair, so I want to make sure, one, that this braid that I put in here is very secure and it's not going to move and go anywhere for the sake of the sew-in, but then also for the sake of my hair. If you do the braids too thin, especially on the edges, as like you start to pull and tug and like, you know, manipulate the sew-in, all of that tension could like literally break your edges off. But then we're going to do a bigger section on this side, like on the edges of the perimeter of my hair, so that it's just a little bit more secure. And I'm also going to use a little bit of braiding here. In the past, historically, when I've done larger braids on myself, I feel like my hair grows more. My hair is healthier. And like when you think about it from like a logical standpoint, that makes sense, right? It's like less tension, fewer braids, less individual pulling over here. Make it weird. It can get tricky. We're gonna add this in to the braid. braid is gonna wrap around, so it needs to be a little bit longer. Okay, so I have officially finished my braid down. I actually ran out of needle and thread, and I just realized as I was searching for my needle and thread and I couldn't find it, that I took it with me on one of my more recent trips, and I think I must have left it there because I can't find it anywhere. So I had found scraps of thread, like one little small tiny little roll, and then I found a very, very small loop hook needle. And if you ever done a sewing, you know those little tiny needles do you no justice. Like, you gotta have the big one. So I'm gonna try to go run to the beauty supply store really quick to grab needle and thread. But before I go, because I'm gonna have to put a hot hat on, obviously, I just wanted to show my braid down. I have no idea what the back looks like because I've been sitting here braiding it the entire time, and I could not see what I was doing in the back at all. This is gonna be my first time seeing it when I play it back. So hopefully it doesn't look too crazy. I am back, and we have weaving thread. I got 3 larger needles. The really big ones, well, I shouldn't say really big, but big enough. Sew the hair in, and then cut it and layer it. Ooh, child. One of the tips, one of the keys to a good long-lasting sewing is cutting and tying your thread as least often as possible. I try to make my thread, like each needle that I thread, extremely long, which is why I like to have multiple needles threaded at the same time, because when I get close to the end, when let's say there's about this much left, I essentially, instead of cutting this thread, I just begin sewing with a new one, and I just tie the 2 ends together. And it's starting to get a little dark, so the lighting isn't the best. I'm gonna have to bring in my extra light. I'm struggling. Now we're gonna start sewing the hair in.